Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. And welcome to another episode of More Conversations with the Average Black Man. I am Timothy Hughes with my lovely co-host Morphine. We got Miss Fields on the paddle. We got BH Stricto popping and Honey Clark. We right out the gate with this conversation today. Straight, no chaser, no backstory, and all of that, because we don't have to define colorism. We already know what it is. So this conversation is just basically, how has it affected you in your life? How do you live with it? How did it shape who you are? Me, I'm gonna just start with me. I've been called black and ugly my whole life, and all that's made me do is realize that I've been black and ugly my whole life. Okay, I'm done.
Ah,
Yeah.
welcome to the show. I will say that yeah, I definitely got picked on for being chocolate, especially with my freckles on my nose in one spot and not over my cheeks like the normal way of, of freckles deciding to be. But I never knew that was colorism growing up. I say that.
Right, right, right.
Um, yeah. So I've been I've experienced colorism because my mother's light skin and I'm obviously dark skin. So I often get comments like, "Oh, your mum never passed you any yellow or any color."
Wow.
So I forget that, and I'm quite fortunate because I'm quite resilient. But I know I got friends who received similar comments, but went on to bleach their skin as a way to balance the comments, so to speak, or balance the negativity. So it's a crazy one. I think it's even worse when it comes from family, because like we know, family is your first introduction to life, and when you're introduced to life but made to feel like there's something wrong with your complexion, then you kind of carry that complex through through your whole life. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and you have a very unique perspective too, because you're across the pond. Like we're all here in America. So, and
Yeah.
then Miss Fields is also from Germany, so she can she's lived in Germany, so she can bring when she comes to the microphone, she can bring a different perspective from across the pond as well. But the interesting thing about how, like you said, how it comes from family, but not even just family, just your own community itself. Like, growing up and I grew up in a fairly white area when I was smaller, and they would call me black and ugly nigga, and then we
Uh,
would hang around the black people, they would call me black ugly nigga, the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like like
wow.
the hatred is crazy. It's like, and then we live in the world now, and I'm talking about 35, 40 years ago when I was a kid. You know what I mean? So but
Well, yeah.
but the fast forward to today, we're gonna go ahead and cue up the clip. Because I don't know what you want to do that clip first.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that clip first.
Let's knock it out the park, and we can comment on her. We can react to that.
Um, sorry, let me. It was up here, but I started doing stuff. I'm already doing things. Wait a minute, Miss Lady. You just come on talking. Um, here we go. Cue that up to like that. Are we seeing it this way? All right.
You gotta fast
Hey,
forward
y'all
that
trying
a
to
little
justify
bit.
anything a man does because you did not grow up with a man that loved you in the household. What? I'm antagonizing him. I just want to know what happened. Why did he punch me like that outside this man's house and drag me out this man's house like that? That's all I want to know. I do not care for nothing else. I just want to know, why did that happen?
Hold on, wait. Is this the
That's why I
same
said
one?
you gotta fast forward it a little bit to
All
her
right, let's
being
go.
Yeah, that
For a
joint say
bitch like
22
you.
minutes.
Trying to be
Huh?
me today.
I said that joint say
Drag me
Yeah,
22
it
out
was
this
minutes.
man's
like
house like that.
no,
That's all
no.
I
Where
want to
you was at
know.
is where it was at when she was talking to the people with her hair on. Her hair was off.
All right, all right.
That's when she made the comment.
Me today.
The other
The
one, I
state
No,
swear
you
to
gotta
already
God, they
took.
got it cut
fast forward
right
to
away.
when she was busted. That's what she said. Fast forward to where she was looking busted.
Right.
Oh, okay. Wait. All right. This part.
The insecurity you sister. Let me not try to break it down to you, but have you understand I'm a light-skinned woman, so I benefit from colorism. You're a dark-skinned woman, sister. You can never make it to the heights I make it from. Oh, can we clock that one, or is it gonna hurt y'all feelings because it's me saying it? Can we be real for once and let's clock everything? Because I'm a light-skinned woman. I say the same shit you say. You're not gonna make it to the heights I make it, bitch. Because you ain't fuck with me. You're a dark-skinned woman. I want you to understand that. Don't come in my comments saying anything to me, ho. I was supporting you because you was a black bum bitch like me. You was
Hold
a black
on,
bum
wait.
just
Pause
ain't
it,
no
pause it
TikTok.
right
pause
there.
it.
Pause it. Woo! Look at that.
Well,
That's
Look at that
crazy.
she
face
already
she got,
said
bro.
the part. She said the part.
that that fade, baby girl, that fade, bro. She over there looking like Marlon Wayans right there.
Stop betting on that lady. Stop betting on that young lady. Please stop
No,
betting on that young lady.
she does wigs for a living. She cut the middle of her head so she can lay her wigs down. Literally, that's why she
Really?
shaved the middle of her hair.
So
Yes.
wait.
Wow, that's
It made
dedication right there.
yeah. I'm like, so
Okay.
it made more sense. It made more sense to cut your hair off so you could wear a wig than to keep the protective style and grow your own natural hair.
Yeah,
You know,
because her living is putting wigs on and off. So
yeah.
she said, forget that. I'm just gonna do it like this, baby.
And, and that
Shave
logically,
this.
I can't knock. If it's how she get her bag, I can't knock that. Welcome to the
I
platform,
can.
and
That's weird.
What's going on?
That's crazy.
y'all know I'm an advocate for marriage and natural hair because I'm married and I got natural hair. So
Yeah. But
I'm
she
always advocate for hair.
so with that, like what she said, it was ignorant, but kind of
Beyond.
true.
Absolutely.
It was kind of true. In today's society,
Ah.
when people like her, who, because when she do her stuff, as you saw in the beginning, she get her makeup right, she get her hair done right, she a little skinny model type. She can really come out and say and do anything, and people just kind of accept her for who she is. And then when other people do it, and you see it in all these KS groups and everything else, it's, oh, you gotta wear wigs. Oh, this black girl, this, that, and the other. Don't nobody want to hear that from you. Or that's all you gonna be because your mama and your daddy this. They do that to our African
You,
American sisters that's darker. But when they like, they can get away with almost anything.
you know what I
We make
find
millions of
interesting?
dollars
You
on
know what I
there.
find interesting about what you said,
Absolutely.
honey, is that dudes in them, especially in those KS groups, they'll post girls like light skinned girls and be like, see, this is natural hair and all of that. I'd be like, that is a whole wig, that is a whole lace front. Like, what
Absolutely.
no, it ain't. She mixed. That's good. Like, yeah, no, like, like, no, bro. You know, she
Yeah, that's another thing.
what's going
Welcome,
on, Maurice?
Maurice, to the panel.
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on?
We need some more light skinned people to come on, man. I can't tell. Brother Ant look like he might have a little cream in his coffee. We got Honey Clark on here. We got Miss Fields. That she busy right now. She said she gonna come up. We need some more. We need some more light, bright, damn near. And I'll just play.
So
Well,
what's
right
the
now
I can hear. Hold on, I can hear you. I heard that light, bright, damn near white statement. Thank you.
Now, the
I'm gonna
thing
leave my
about
baby alone.
this is the thing though, because texturism and colorism run hand in hand, right? So, uh, with the in 2019, the Crown Act passed in California. We pull up the Crown Act. Uh, the
I
Crown
think
Act.
mm,
The Crown Act. Let me see. Let me share my screen. So we can.
You
We
got to
can.
get rid of my stuff so you can share it.
No, I don't. I could just do just like that. The Crown Act, a creative and respectful and open world of natural hair, is a law that prohibits discrimination against natural hair textures and styles, particularly targeting racial discrimination against individuals with natural hair. The acronym CROWN represents Create Respectful Open World Natural. The Crown Act aims to promote inclusivity and acceptance, recognizing that hair is a part of one's identity, culture, and heritage. It encourages more inclusive and diverse definition of beauty and professionalism. The Crown Act has been enacted in various states across the United States, including California, New York, New Jersey, and has inspired similar legislation in other countries. It is a significant step toward combating discrimination and promoting equality for individuals with natural hair. Now, the reason I brung that up because colorism and texturism are kind of tandem to each other. So if there's a whole law that was passed that says you don't gotta have a perm or wig no more to get a job, why are they still getting wigs and perms and all of that?
We don't get perms no more.
Oh,
We
well,
been stopped doing that.
lace fronts and all that. Lace fronts is the same thing. Why are they still doing that? That's what I'm saying.
Because it takes a lot.
Oh, I like it because it's easier.
It takes a lot to do black hair. I mean, whether we want to believe it or not, it just really does. It takes a lot to maintain and to uh to do black hair. And you see how you look, Timothy, is right now. Braids going to the back, the butt weak plait. Sometimes that shit don't look good on us.
Talking about the buckwheat plant. I ain't never
The
looked
back,
like
the
buckwheat.
buckwheat plaits. But that
Oh,
is the
God.
main way to keep our hair healthy, to keep it moisturized, and all of the above. I want to bring up a conversation that I had and what the infamous KS groups in the righteous sphere, and one of them was why don't black women want to go in the chlorine and salt water? And I just was like, and they were insinuating because of our hair. And they was like, y'all don't want to get your natural hair wet. I'm like, no, hell no. First of all, that's salt water.
Man, as a dude, see, I get to beat those dudes up because I have hair. You know what I mean? And since I have hair, I get to beat them dudes up all the time and explain to them, like, dude, if having hair is like you said, it's a chore. Like I just washed and got my hair done this weekend. Just washing my hair alone took like 2.5, 3 hours just to wash and blow dry. You know what I mean? Like it's a serious thing having hair. And you know what I'm saying? I gotta keep my joke going on because, like I said, I ain't never looked like buckwheat. I ain't never looked like buckwheat.
No. Now you look like that ball off of I forget the little samurai ball. What the fuck was his
No,
name with the hair everywhere?
the treasure trove. That's what I was looking like. But no,
Yeah,
the thing, like I
I'm
beat those
bald, just
dudes up
living
because
life.
they right because
What
they
you
always
say,
say
Ed?
that he said he bald looking right.
I said I'm bald, living the life.
I was gonna say, man, the three guys here, besides you, Tim, yeah, we all bald, man. So like,
Yeah.
Always the
I,
milk. It's always
I'm
the milk
sorry.
judge crew.
I'm sorry that happened to y'all, man.
I'm just saying,
I'm
there's
sorry.
not much that we're going to be able to add to this conversation.
Well, no, this segment is about the texturism because texturism is tied to colorism,
Yes,
and you know,
absolutely.
and as a person with hair, when they talking about the black women don't want to get their hair, I'm like, I don't want to get my hair wet. Yeah, see? And I let them know, like, stop acting like black women want to have good hair because that's not exclusive to women too. Black men want to have good hair too. That's why wave grease and all that old type of shit exists. Because you don't want to be called a nappy headed motherfucker either. So you'll brush your hair for 13 hours trying to get waves. And you do the same thing, putting S curls and stuff in, it's the same. Black men want to have good hair, just like, and that's the same BS too. But
But I
carry
think
on.
Well,
it's
I was
crazy
just
that they think
Yeah,
that we
brother.
don't that we do our hair like that because we don't have it. And I think that that's kind of they got to get rid of that thinking.
My man
well,
brushing his scalp right there.
I was just
I'm gonna brush my
I was
scalp
just
real
gonna
quick.
I was just gonna add, like, I have I don't even know what you would call my hair, but Morphine, you've seen it where if I wash it and blow dry it, it's like Mufasa-ish. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So even as a biracial, yes, baby. Okay. Even as a biracial woman, I don't want to get my hair wet. If I wash my hair on Tuesday and you ask me to go to the pool on Friday, I ain't getting my hair wet because I just took 2-3 hours washing it, blow drying it, flat ironing it, whatever I was doing. So
That
I
part.
mean, just like sometimes we just don't
But
want to get our damn hair wet.
your hair, it has never looked like this. Just come on.
What? So
My
what? So what? So what?
my
It didn't look that kinky. Her hair don't look that kinky,
my
but
hair
that don't
defies
do that
gravity.
woof woof woof.
My hair
Her shrinkage
defies
is real
gravity.
too.
My hair defies
Listen,
gravity.
my lady hair come down to the mid of her back, right?
Yeah, she got
I
crop. Yeah,
seen
for
this
sure, for sure.
woman wash her hair and that shrinkage shrunk up to here because I was like, oh, she black. That's how you know. Shrinkage. Shrinkage is real.
I got a joint that I got over here too, explicitly for the colorism joint. Where did it go? Where is it? Where? Oh, here we go. Bada bing, bada boom.
Let it go. Let's go. Let's go.
Here we go. Bang, bang, bang. There it is.
Hair textures from the Caucasian down to the African, to the mixed
Right.
woman, to the this woman right here. Look at that hair.
Well,
Look at that 4C
well,
hair.
okay. Thank
So
you, thank you for that.
Oh, you didn't know about this, Jess?
No. So
So
I'm
where
in between. I'm in between a
you in that?
2C. Yeah, I think I'm about a 2C.
Yeah,
I think you a
I'm
2C all day.
I'm in
Yeah.
between. I'm in between 3C and 4A.
I'm 4A all day. Y'all see this shit.
I think I'm down in the 3A, 3A, 3B. It ain't that thick for 3C.
Boy, if
Yeah.
I had
But it
So
4B,
ain't
4C
silky.
here.
so this is where the colorism comes in too, because notice that the looser the curl gets, the lighter the skin gets. Ooh.
I don't know
Colorism.
about that because I see some chocolate women with some curly
No, I
Jewish
know.
looking shit.
Yeah, but
Well, hold on.
this is
Hold on.
the stereotype that goes with it.
Right.
But she's right. So, for example, one of my very very good friends, she is mixed. Wait, put that one back up. I was looking at the hair.
Okay.
Um, she's mixed just like me. Her mother's white, her father's black, but she looks like Nia Long. Like so, she looks like the complexion of a 4A, but her hair texture is kind of like mine, a 2C. But she's a darker skinned woman. She's mixed. She's black and white, but her hair texture is different. But her skin complexion is a lot darker than mine. So I guess again, that's where kind of that colorism comes in. Like, so if you see her, you probably wouldn't think that her parent, that one of her parents is white. You might think that one of her parents is light skinned, maybe even like Indian or something like that. I don't think that if you saw her, you would assume that her mother or one of her parents was white. Where if you go down to like the 2B and whatever the 2A is, you would assume that they are probably a biracial child.
Yeah, biracial child. Well, even even if you wanted to get into the C3 part, that I would still think that that's biracial. But let me come on camera real quick. I was fitting to do something. But even when you get to the part of C3, that's the woman that I'm talking about that would be chocolate and have that type of hair texture, which can still be a mixed child. She just came out dark skin,
Right.
So,
But then it's like,
that was
why does colorism? But colorism to me, when they started talking about exotic, when you started hearing everybody start talking about exotic women and exotic this and exotic that, I think that's when it reemerged as as a big topic. Versus, before.
Can we talk about the attitudes of dark skinned women and
Oh,
light skinned women?
speaking of that, I got one for that. I got one for that. So let me see. Where is it? Where do you go? Where do you go, sir? Oh, here he is. Okay, boom. Let me see. Can I make this bigger?
Go to full screen and see what happens.
That's what I'm trying. Hey, you leave me alone.
All right. My bad.
I'm trying to whack here. I'm trying to whack. Okay, that ain't whacking. That ain't whacking.
You want me to pull it up? So
It's
them
not.
the Macintoshes ain't what they all cracked up to be, is it?
But this video is just small. Macintosh.
Macintosh is
That's
crazy.
that's the old 1980s
Right. I was
version.
like, Macintosh. What?
It's the first thing that came to mind. Like I think Apple and shit.
I'm having fun. All right, everybody.
All right, here we go. This the joint I'm supposed to push? No, that's not the joint I'm supposed to push. Is this the joint I'm supposed to? Where is the full screen? Damn it.
Well, I can say this, Keisha. I know that when I was
There ain't no
younger,
full screen
and
option.
people used to say that they didn't approach me because they thought I would have an attitude. They thought I would be stuck up because I was light skinned.
Oh
So it's like
wow.
I was. They would think I would have like this stuck up, I look pretty, I'm too good for you attitude. And then when I didn't, they are surprised,
Yeah, wow.
I
which
believe
makes no
that.
sense. But they thought that just
Yeah, I
simply
kind of believe
because.
that too. I really believe that. Look at your picture right here.
I
He
know
looked
that.
at your
Oh
picture
man.
and just was like, yeah, she's
Looking
stuck
at
up.
your picture, they like you stuck up. Nah.
I'm having fun. All right, everybody.
I mean, for a dark skinned woman, they all automatically assume that we are aggressive and manly. So,
You pretty for a dark skinned girl. That's the one.
Oh yeah, and then you're pretty for a dark skinned girl.
But then absolutely, but I think that I have kind of a colorist attitude with black men because I feel like darker men, they look more to me like I would feel like they're stronger. They're like more, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like
Yeah,
more masculine than
Shots
a
fired,
lighter
man.
skinned person.
Pow 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 pow.
Like just a darker man. Like when you see a dark man and a light man about to fight, or a dark man and a white man, a lot of people will feel like that a darker man or a black man is gonna win.
Yeah,
Shots fired.
I was just gonna say, people think can't no light skinned guy fight. Like we all just get
Yeah,
beat up
like,
on.
soft.
but
Yeah, like we
Like
saw.
I just stand there all
I
day and
realized
be
that when
like,
I was younger that was not true.
And
All
like
right, so I
They
got the
I,
always
I
took
attitude
it.
blame
thing.
I
I got
blame
the
Wesley.
attitude. My bad. Go
Do
ahead,
you know
brother.
what?
No,
Can I? Can I?
I blame Wesley Snipes for that.
Oh, from New Jack City,
Yeah,
pretty motherfucker.
shit been the same since.
All right, here you go. Let me play this joint.
I'm having fun. All right, everybody buzzing about it on Twitter, so I gotta ask what it is. You like black? You said you like black girls, but you said it's just like I answered this question. I answered this question earlier. I don't feel like I have a need to simplify it again, but I'm gonna simplify it again. I carry myself like I'm an average dude because I don't see myself no better.
I can't hear anything.
I was gonna say, am I tripping?
Yeah, no, it cut
I
off.
just said I don't like women with my complexion. I like light skinned women. I want you to be lighter than me. I love you. Don't get mad. A more chubby, heavy set women. He can say that and nobody won't get mad at him. I just said I don't like women with my complexion. I like light skinned women. I want you to be lighter than me. I love African American women, but I just don't like my skin complexion. Okay. Well, I like your skin complexion. We too gutter. Black people, my complexion, we too gutter. Light skinned women, they more sensitive. Some dark skinned women out here sensitive.
Oh wow.
No, they too tough. They too tough. Light skinned women, we could break them down more easy. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
Yeah. That's it. We shout out to Cheney TV. Already know Florida. We in the building.
He said what? He said that on
I
TV.
was with him till he said that whole "they easier" or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I get a preference is a preference, but you ain't have to go all down
I
that
think when he was
lane.
talking about break it down, he was actually talking about basically having sex with her, not like break her down mentally in a like Stockholm syndrome. That's not. I don't think he was talking that. He probably was just. It was easy to get at him. Whereas like darker skinned women, because of all the attitude and the toughness, it's just too much work.
But since when did your skin color make you be tough?
I'm just translating what the man said.
I know, but I'm saying that
I
it
didn't
didn't
say I
make
agree with
sense.
him.
Like I agree, like me, I like darker skinned men. I like darker skinned men because I think that the skin color is sexy. I like it against mine. I like the way it look naked. I like darker men, but it's not like I like darker men because I think that because your skin color is dark, you're gonna act a certain way towards me.
To a degree, don't you think you're saying what he's saying, but just
No, because
for
I
dark
don't
skinned
think
men?
I think that they look pretty. So what I'm saying is that I like the aesthetics. I don't think that they're gonna act a certain way though. He thinks that a lighter skinned woman is gonna have less attitude. They're gonna be more green. They're gonna be more naive, and they're gonna be easier for him to, talk to and manipulate versus a darker skinned woman. And I don't think that
See,
that's true.
you added
But
that manipulate. You added the other
but
stuff. Like that's not what he was saying. He was just
Yes,
I,
saying
he
I,
said
I don't
I
think.
can break them down. What you mean?
break.
well,
That's a very
you
common expression to say have sex with her. That's. I mean, that's all he meant by that. He
What?
didn't mean
I,
it.
I
He
can
never.
but
break them
that's what
down. Does not
I
have
got from
sex.
that. I
but
got
but
exactly the same thing from him. That
He
but
said
he
that
wants
they're
to have
more
sex with her. That
sensitive and you can break them down easier.
Yeah.
More
he's talk,
sensitive and break them down easier.
I
but
think
respect.
he's
I'm
talking
sorry,
about
excuse me, but
he's talking about
respectfully,
sleeping
honey.
with her.
But respectfully, honey, you just also said, even though it might have been when you were younger or something like that, that you had the preconceived notion that darker skinned men were more pretty much masculine.
Well, more like
Um,
Yes, when I was younger, and
essentially
then
more like
when
what
I
Bill
started
was saying.
meeting men, I realized that that's not true. That is a grown ass man. He's in his 30s.
I mean, I get that, but
That's
everybody
Kodak
don't grow.
Black.
But yeah, child, I know. I can't even take him. I can't even take him seriously. But either way, like everybody grows differently. So like he might still have the mentality that you had at a younger age, that you had that same preconceived notion based on colorism.
Right, and I'm saying that I don't. Yeah, that's where I disagree with him at. Where I'm saying that that's an ignorance. The same way I said I was ignorant when I was younger, I feel like that's an ignorant statement to think that because of somebody's skin color, that their attitude is a certain way.
Oh
I
yeah,
was about to
I
say
agree with
that.
you there.
I think that she was just using herself as an example of
Yeah,
ignorance. That's
yeah.
all.
I mean,
Okay.
the
No,
whole
I
concept
definitely agree
of
with you there.
the whole
I just
concept of
wanted to
colorism.
clarify because I didn't want to misconstrue what you said.
Yeah, the whole concept of colorism is pretty ignorant. So if we're gonna be talking about it, it's gonna be people saying a lot of ignorant stuff because we all know that the skin color doesn't actually predetermine your attitude, your upbringing, the way you look at life and how you actually go about treating people. We know that, right? I'm assuming that we all know that. So everything that we're going to be talking about is going to be a lot of ignorant statements, or yeah, essentially people uneducated or haven't gotten to that point where they've actually fleshed out that aspect in their thought process.
I would like to know how
Yeah,
many men on this panel, as we go through this conversation, would actually agree with some of the things that is said versus via it's a light skinned woman or dark skinned woman. So let's get through it.
I used to agree with it when I was younger. I would definitely confess to that. Um, so much so that my eldest's mum is light skinned. Um,
Mm.
and that was a deliberate choice in the sense that I used to get so much hate about my complexion. Like I said earlier, I don't know if you was tuned in, from family, and that kind of put it in my mind that if I was to have a child, I wouldn't want those comments to be made about my child. So I went on to pick a lighter skinned woman. And the ironic thing, or the funny thing is, my child didn't even come out light skinned. She came out dark skinned,
Praise
just
God,
like
praise
me,
God.
you know. And I think at that point, I kind of realized that, yeah, it is what it is. It is what it's meant to be. And at the end of the day, my daughter's equally as beautiful as any other light-skinned woman or any perception that people have of light-skinned women, you know. So I definitely used to have that attitude for sure. But as I've gotten older, um, I would even go as far as to say my preference is dark skin. Like I have no interest in lighter skin at all. I almost feel disgusted with myself for thinking that, but it's the way I've been programmed, you know. Like I said, from family all down to what I watch on TV. I remember, like, in the UK, we used to get like a lot of rap music videos, and like for example, I remember one that always used to stick with me was Ja Rule, and in most of Ja Rule's videos, all the girls in his videos are light skinned or Latino, or whatever you guys are called. So like that was seen by us over here. If you acquired yourself one of those kind of girls as success, you're doing well, So
Oh wow.
there's a lot of brainwashing that's gone on over the years. So I've definitely been a victim of that, but I have unwashed myself now to realize that, I mean, you can like light skinned women, there's no problem in that, but to just like them because you feel that they are better than any other, I think that's wrong.
Yeah, my
If
personal.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Yeah,
I
no.
mean, I just wanted to piggyback off of him real quick because our stories are so similar, just in the reverse.
Right.
Because as Tim would say, light, bright, and damn near white.
Yes, ma'am. Fine as hell.
And I grew up on the east side of Buffalo, New York. So I grew up with my father in a predominantly black neighborhood. All my friends, all my family, they're all black. And I was like, I guess you have to call it the white sheep of the family at that point, right? I'm not the black
Mm,
sheep. I was the white sheep of the family. So I remember growing up, I would never ever date light skinned men. If you was as light as me or lighter, damn sure not white. I won't messing with you. I wanted somebody dark. And I had to realize this through years of growth, that it was actually a self-hate for myself. And kind of like he said, I didn't want my children to feel the way that I felt being in a predominantly black family or a predominantly black neighborhood, being picked on because they were the lighter of their peers or family members. So I always made this promise that if I procreated, it would be with a dark skinned man. And I did so. And all of my children are darker than me. Like some days I've been asked if I was the babysitter for my daughter.
Mission
Like,
accomplished.
wow.
yeah, they be like, oh, are you the babysitter? And I'm like, no, I'm her mother because she's a lot darker than I am. But again, I just wanted to piggyback off of that because I find it interesting how the colorism, it can be damaging, but it can be damaging in both ways, depending on the dynamics and where you were. And I also heard earlier that you're in what, the UK?
Yeah.
And I'm originally from Germany and
Okay.
military family, obviously. And I had a huge culture shock when I moved to the United States as a teenager. When I was a kid, I didn't see it so much because kids play with anybody, they don't care. But when I moved back as a teenager, I noticed the difference. And in Germany, I was never really asked what I was, right? I always was just presumed as, oh, well, you're American. That was their first, oh, you're American. They never really asked me if I was black or white or Spanish or
Mm,
anything. Oh,
mm,
you're American.
mm,
But then when I moved to the United States, I always got the question, well, what are you? And I'm like, what the hell you mean? What am I?
mm.
Listen,
I'm just me. I'm black and white. My mom's German and my father's black. So there's definitely a difference between, like, when you're abroad, different places, different dynamics. But I just wanted to share that and piggyback off of that because that was real.
yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
How y'all
Well,
doing?
thank you for your
Can
input.
you hear me?
Thank you,
Yeah.
Trey, for joining the show.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I messed
No,
up.
I mean, to both of these young people's points, it's unique. Listen, I think us as everybody, sometimes, some of us don't admit that we don't like ourselves early enough. If you was hanging around me and growing up with my generation, I would have talked about your big nose and your big lips and how dark you were and how light you were and all that. I just wouldn't
African
go.
booty scratcher, burnt
Yeah,
biscuit, all that stuff. Yep.
Light skin, bright skin, white boy, old yellow, mellow yellow, all that would have been in your top of your name.
Jigaboos. I still don't know what the hell
All
a
of that.
jigaboo
Hey,
is.
hey, the mayonnaise monkey.
And I think is is we have to really accept us and our uniqueness within us. It just I've never been called out. I've never been called anything other than a ninja or my name when it comes to other races. All of these things that we talk about now only came from people with the big nose and the big lips like me and the wide footses.
And
Is
the
it?
wild horses.
Yeah, they footses, not feet. They footses.
Or, no, they feces.
Okay, some people say footses. I
I heard
Footses,
footses.
feces,
yeah,
I heard
footses.
footses.
But
footses, feces.
but I think it just goes to a greater dynamic of how we sort of internalize our looks, and it sort of puts a cloud over us to really focus on being the best person we can be. I don't. And could y'all show that picture of that fine chocolate sister right there? See, I've always
She
wanted to
wasn't
date,
chocolate. That lady is Hershey.
but she was
Okay.
blue. Look, but
She
I'm gonna tell you
yo,
like this.
she was
She
beautiful.
purple. She
But I'm gonna tell you
beautiful.
like this.
Is she
And she's
purple?
from
Fine
she's
as
from
hell.
London. She's a Londoner.
Yeah,
She
she
fine, but she was born and raised in London, but her heritage ain't London.
Gone,
So
yeah, she's Ghanaian.
so I think if especially women in America, because most of us are talking and working within the dynamics of women in America. I think if sisters would just embrace their natural beauty, whether they light skin or dark skin, because I like them all. I've never been picky about light skin or dark skin. Some of my finest girlfriends were light skin. Some of my finest girlfriends were dark skin. My wife is a dark brown, sugar looking, and I love them all. And I never discriminate in between because that limit my options. And you're a young man, you'll be a fool to limit your options. But again, people learn and they grow. I just think that as far as the sisters to sort of elevate themselves, they
But
have to
see, her. This is the problem with this picture. As beautiful as this woman is, I had to, out of the internet, so I had to cross the name out. But the caption says, "She's beautiful, but I can never marry to have any woman this type of complexion."
but it
I
goes to
can never.
what my brother was
He
speaking
said,
about.
I want my children to be light skinned,
Yeah,
skinned,
yeah. It goes
skinned.
to what my brother was
That's
speaking about.
right.
People sort of take on that like I don't love myself, so I don't, and I don't relate to myself. So self-hate is deep. That's a drug. So I'm gonna do everything to not look like me. You can't take away the big nose and the big lip. That's who we are.
Right.
And look
I
at
got
that,
a,
all that.
I
Yeah,
got a,
see, I think
I got
she is
another joint.
absolutely gorgeous, and there's so many that are so dark complex. And again, like for me, I actually used to envy that. I never forget a question I asked my father one day because I was being teased because I was the lightest in the whole crew. And I said, Dad, like, hey, where my color at? Like, in a jokingly way. And he said, baby, it's okay. God ran out of brown paint that day. That was his answer to me. God ran out of brown paint that day. I'm sorry, but you're still a beautiful black woman, and always remember that. No matter how light you are, you're always going to be a black woman. And you might catch some heat because you're not, you fall under like some stereotype, like Honey said earlier. Oh, she thinks she all that. She's stuck up, or or things of that nature. But again, he always explained that to me, and but that is a root of um constant belittling, whether you're dark skinned, whether you're light skinned. You just get that perception of, like you said, Trey, that self-hatred. Like, I don't like myself because I'm not who I'm not gonna say I'm not who I want to be, but I'm not accepted by those that I love. Does
But
that make
you're
more
not
sense?
you're not. The simple way that I would say it is you're not who others want you to be.
Well, that
let,
that
let me
that
a-
is the
let
part.
me ask you a question.
Mhm.
For the lighter skinned people here, do you think colorism is taken serious from a light skin point of view? So if you're
Huh?
light skinned, so is your complaint as a light skinned person, in terms of colorism? Do you think that's taken serious, more serious, as opposed to a darker skinned person making a complaint about colorism?
Only to the poor people. This is an issue to the poor people. You're poor, I'm poor. This is an issue to us. To other races, is has nothing to do with your light skin or dark skin. Now, I will say this, as it relates to the world, they'll associate dark skinned brothers as being violent, dangerous. That's what they do. But as
But
far as
but it
poor people,
I know because colorism is rooted in even in classism too. Because even back in the days, the royalty, if you was dark, that meant you
Mm-hmm.
worked out in the field, and that meant you were a commoner. So the lighter you were, meant you didn't have to work out in the field and all that type of stuff, and
And
you
even
had
in
privilege.
Arabic countries, it's Arabic people like who run the stores and stuff here, and they will always tell me like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful! Like with that skin color in my country, like everybody would love you. Everybody with this and that." So it's not just here; like it is kind of everywhere with
Yeah, that's
I
lighter
tell
and
you,
darker skin.
it's
So
historic. Even with the white people over here, the aristocrats of like the the early 18th century. If you remember, like the kings and queens and so forth used to powder their face so they would literally be white. So
Mm-hmm.
that was all done because, in terms of class. So it meant they weren't outside getting burnt, sunburnt, or it just meant we was in the house as the rich people wouldn't need to work. So colorism has a long history, not just amongst us blacks, but if if the slave owners can feel a way about how they are, then imagine how they push that narrative and agenda down to the enslaved. So it goes a very, very, very long
Hold on, hold
way.
on.
Like you have to
so
Hold on,
wait.
know the history.
I gotta add to this. I gotta add to this because, like, we love talking about colorism from the aspect of discrimination about black people, how it keeps us down. Yet, my brother here just pointed out a series of colorism inside the white community. I can add to that because let you be a redhead with freckles. They're coming after you in the white community.
Mm-hmm.
Let you be pale. Oh, don't be pale. Do not. I watch enough TV to know white people don't like pale people. Like when they're applying makeup, they'll do a shade darker. White people go to get tans. They pinch their cheeks to add some color. You need a little bit of color in your skin. So let's, like, there's this concept of colorism. I've always found as it's a crutch that we use to make excuses for things.
So can I ask a real quick question? Because you asked a question and I wanted to answer it, but then everybody talked and I kind of lost my train of thought. So basically, what you were asking is, when it comes to colorism, is there a difference in reaction or let's say outrage when it happens to a
Yeah,
darker skinned person than a lighter skinned person?
perfect.
Oh,
You
okay.
base, yeah, perfect. Yeah,
So I do absolutely think that it is. There's a huge difference when it is if a darker skinned person speaks about colorism, no different than racism. There's usually a huge outrage. If a lighter skinned person is kind of like, oh well, you know, you didn't face that. It wasn't even really that serious. You were just light skinned. Like, what's the big deal? Kind of get over it. That's my opinion of
right,
from my experiences.
right.
But also to piggyback off of her, light skinned people, because we are considered to have had privilege, we can't glorify our light skin either. The same way brown skin can glorify their brown skin. So, for instance, there are plenty of songs that glorify brown skin, and I love it because my mama black, I'm black, my kids black. You know what I'm saying? But I am also light skinned. So when I think Danny Lee made a song called "Light Skin," and she was glorifying her light skin, they tried to cancel her. But you're not canceling nobody glorifying their brown skin. But it's considered that we had privilege, so it's like, why are y'all? We can't be proud of our light skin. We can't be proud of just who we are too.
Exactly. So for us, it's more or less like y'all already got the light skin card. Just deal with it. But
Yeah.
these darker skinned people, we have to uplift them because they don't always get that. They're not put on a pedestal. They're not looked at the you're as the how can I'm trying to be correct here, like the European standard of
Elite.
beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
Euro
So we have to
Eurocentric.
give them, yeah, we have to give them their moment. You are right because you could pass. You see what I
All
mean?
right. So with that being said, this clip is right what we talking about right now. This is I'm gonna just let her explain it.
Hit dogs holler, they is hollering in her comments. Dark-skinned women who are on the better half of colorism often deny colorism because they are the exception to the rule. That's the whole when a guy's like, "Oh, you're beautiful. I don't usually like dark-skinned girls, but you're." So they take that and they're like, "Oh yeah, I am beautiful. Colorism doesn't exist because you like me, but you have a looser hair texture, or you know what I mean, or you have smaller features like myself." And that does not deny colorism. People just don't like. I've seen brown-skinned women, like women who are in between, be called dark-skinned because they have a bigger nose or bigger lips. People are features and colorist. And just because you're on the better half of that, but you're not experiencing all of the hits, doesn't mean you deny colorism. Because I've been on both sides. I've been on the side where people were constantly like on me, like you're ugly, you're this, you're that. And I've also been on the side where people are like, oh, you're the exception to the rule. She ain't lying, y'all, and y'all is hollering. Be quiet.
So she's talking about women like Amara la Negra, that like the only thing that makes her features wise not look like a black person is that she don't have the black lips, the black people full lips, and she got the small pointy nose so but Amara la Negra is my complexion. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can find a picture of her.
Right.
I was gonna say, yeah, can you? Yeah, I don't know who that is. But while you're looking, she makes perfect sense because you could be mixed or well, not even mixed. You could just have slimmer features, and they just so it doesn't make it so Afrocentric. So it's like, oh well, yeah, you're cute for a dark skinned girl. But now she could be the same complexion, same hair texture, but have a big nose, and all of a sudden that might change the whole game. It makes sense. Features, textures, and complexion.
I mean,
I guess we're all
Amada
playing
looks
fine.
black to me. She doesn't look like she has too many European features at all. Like, I mean, I don't have a wide nose, so
So
I don't know.
she got
Nah,
thin,
she does
she
have
has
European features. She
yeah,
just
she got thin lips. Her nose is not cheek to cheek. You know what I mean? That's
Did she
that's
have work
actually her.
done?
She's from the islands.
She's Afro Latina, so I don't know
yeah,
where
she
Okay.
is from the islands.
yeah, she's West
Isn't
Indies.
that
She
nice?
sings in Spanish.
But that's the beauty of the sisters. Some of y'all got big noses, some of y'all got small noses, big
I
lips,
know that's
small
right.
lips.
That's right.
African American is African American, no matter. That's why we are the
But
goddamn
but
fruit.
a
That
Marla Narregra would punch you in your nose, talking about telling her she African American. No, I'm not. I'm
But
not
she
but
one
she
of you.
don't.
is
But she don't
African
want to
Right.
claim
American.
the culture. She don't want to claim the African
Right.
American
I was
culture.
just that's what I was getting
You
to
know,
because I come across that a lot. Is that I've come across a lot of people that are darker than me and be like, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. I'm not black, I'm Colombian. I'm not black, I'm this. I'm not black, I'm that. But and be blacker than a patent leather shoe. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah,
You
But
are
We
on mute.
can't we can't
you're
hear
on
you.
mute.
You're
You're
on
on
mute.
mute. You
I'm
gotta
gonna
unmute
unmute him.
yourself.
Go, I got
Okay,
him.
you
I
got it.
got him. Goddamn.
Go,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead.
brother.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but you know why that is though, right?
Huh.
So I think like there's a different attitude towards race in America than there is anywhere in the world. Maybe with the exception of South Africa. But so when non-African Americans hear the term black, it's more of a national thing than a race thing. So they almost hearing you're pointing out that they're American. And
See, I think
when they
I
think
it's the way around.
when they think about Black Americans, they think about all the stuff they watch on Maury, the Maury Povich, all the stuff they see on Ricky Lake, all the stuff that that is all the negative stuff that is portrayed about Black Americans, and so the moment you then associate them with that, they try their utmost best to disassociate themselves with with Black or African American. But if you take the same person who is distancing themselves from being African American and put them in another country and call them Black, they would accept that, but just not in America.
So brother, I have a question for you. Based off
Sure.
what you said as far as the information, so are you saying like there was a time heavily in other countries outside of America that they were showing the people within that country these shows that represented the worst of us as far as African Americans in America? Like they were showing the Ricky Lakes, the Jerry Springers, and all those shows were being
Yes.
part of the mind
I can see
warping.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
I always understood that.
So
Okay,
so it's oh, and for me, I'm raised in the UK, but I'm originally from Nigeria. So I remember being a kid in Nigeria watching Ricky Lake,
okay,
watching all that sort of mess, all that
yeah,
representation of Black Americans, specifically Black American women,
yeah,
you know.
the cave, yeah.
So instantly you are almost, I don't want to use the word brainwashed because brainwashed implies that you had dirt in your brain to have it washed, but it's it's a programming of of the utmost negative way you can view a female Black American.
I got you. And this
Yeah,
is
no,
my
So
I can definitely add to that
so
because
once the moment you then ask me or suggest to me that I might be Black in America or I might be African American, I will do everything possible to take that image away from myself. Because
Hey,
the
so
positive
really, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
the positive Americans, I'm trying to think the positive, like from me, from my perspective over here, I couldn't name a positive American, a Black American to tell you, other than Malcolm or Martin Luther
Martin
King.
Luther King.
but
But outside of
Maurice was next.
outs-
Maurice wanted to get his little. He been trying to interject
And
for a
then
while.
Jessica behind him.
sure.
yeah, no, I want to add to this aspect because I'm of Haitian descent, but I grew up in the United States. But I can tell you, amongst the Haitian community, there was a very clear distinction between being Haitian and being Black. Like there was a culture. Like the way he had described it was like, the way the way people see it in other countries is Black is a people. It's not just a race. It's a people, and there's aspects of that people because when you say Italian, you have an image that pops in your head. When you say American, you have an image that pops in your head. No matter what nationality or ethnicity you state, you have this image that pops in. But when you hear Black, especially Black American, there's an image that pops in your head. It's not a very great image. Nonetheless, they don't want to associate themselves with that image. I'm not saying Haitian image is any better, but you want to be associated with the image that you are, right? I remember a long time ago, which is something I had to fix in me. I did not like being called African. I'm like, I'm not African. And this dude was like, why are you getting so offended that somebody calling you African? And then I was like, I had to check that within myself because it was something I was trying to push away. But nonetheless, that's kind of like a big one is Dominicans, man. Dominicans darker than me. They will tell you straight out, hey, I know Black. That's their famous phrase. And that's how they go about it. But because there's an association.
And that's the same island too, huh?
Oh yeah, oh man. When it comes to colorism, if you want to talk about colorism, you look at Haiti and the relationship between Haiti and the Dominican Republic. Dominican Republic literally had an ethnic type cleansing that was
Blanqueamento.
Yeah, they were trying to whiten the complexion of the people. It's one of the reasons why they don't like Haitians coming over, because then there's going to be mixing that happens. It's going to darken the complexion of the people. So yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's all nuts. It's all nuts.
Well, I think you pretty much already answered the question. I'm always interested, and Maurice touched on it as well, as far as what the outside world actually views as Black America, as far as is it influential through our music and TV shows and things like that. So my question was pretty much based on that, but I think y'all touched on that.
I have a question.
Well, I'm sorry
Amongst
to
all the,
but I remember Honey had asked a question about our experiences, but I don't know if we got our way around.
I was just about to ask that question.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, what do you guys, that all the men on the panel, what are your experiences in of your own colorism, and did you have some of your own when it came down to preference? But I do want to make a statement. There is a difference between preference and colorism, or is preference colorism?
I mean, if I, like I said, I grew up in the States, and man, I mean, y'all see my complexion. I ain't no light skinned dude at all, and I was like the black dot in my school photos, like because I was surrounded by white people. Everybody, I didn't see another black person until I got to middle school. Um, so I was always surrounded by white people. My first crush was a white girl, I remember. Um, and hey, man, that was my upbringing. Don't laugh at me too hard now.
You fucked up now. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Did she
So
break your heart?
hold on. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah, like I said, my first crush was. I remember all the white boys I used to hang around. All they would talk about was Cindy Crawford. Cindy Crawford this, Cindy Crawford that. I didn't know who Cindy Crawford was, but that was like the pinnacle, right? Like, you don't know who or what looks good until you start talking with your boys and you realize and then Cindy Crawford is supposed to be the pinnacle of beauty, right? I remember not understanding that. Like, it didn't quite click to me because I'm over here watching Saved by the Bell and I'm checking out Lisa. I'm over here, there was Melissa, what's her name from Who's the Boss? What's her name?
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa
Yeah,
Milano was on the list. I remember Topanga was definitely on the list.
Topanga. Yeah,
everybody liked it.
Y'all
Topanga.
fucking
Even I
up
liked
now.
it.
What
Topanga.
y'all doing, fellas? Y'all know not to do this live. What are y'all doing?
Look, I like
Topanga
Alyssa
was
Milano.
definitely a
Yeah, I
blend
mean, Topanga
of
was my
black
favorite.
features with like that light complexion, which was a nice, um, dare I say it, exotic blend.
yeah, because
Oh,
Wow.
welcome to the
wait.
stage, Neo. But hold on, real quick.
Who
Welcome to
let
the
Neo
stage.
in the room?
And then, because what he's describing
I
is that
did.
when
It
you're
was me.
young,
I'm guilty.
you don't, like we mentioned earlier, you don't see that color. Like Jesse said it too. When you're young, kids play with everybody, with everyone. It's like that colorism and all of that is learned. You learn that, like Maurice was saying, you get to talking with your buddies, and you begin to develop a sense of wanting to fit in. Like, oh, if they saying that this person is fine, then I'm supposed to think that they fine because I want to fit in.
Yeah, but I mean, I essentially got to the point where once I was in my exploration phase, I was definitely, like, to this day, Nia Long is at the top of my list of the most beautiful women. Like, that's me. That's my preference. That's what I choose. So funny enough, though, all of my girlfriends though have always been lighter complexion than me, but nonetheless, I actually prefer darker skinned women. But
I got a question. It's
oh,
gonna rattle some cages, but I don't give a fudge. Do you guys that have dated between the light skin and the dark skinned woman, uh, feel like that there is some behavioral differences.
So I was going to get to that. One of the reasons why I usually ended up with light skinned women is because the dark skinned women used to tease me all the time about what? My skin color. This was remember, I had limited interactions with black people, and the few that I did interact with that were women were constantly on me about my skin color. So I just stayed the heck away from them. They were mean, they were nasty. I didn't want to deal with them. And it's just not like, but I don't know if I ever drew a distinction to say, dark skin, let me stay away, because I always still had this attraction for dark skin. So I maintained my attraction for dark skin, but in the same sense, when I came across dark skin, and one of the reasons why I end up with light skinned women is because when I come across dark skinned women that I may or may be attracted to, they're usually pretty mean.
So what you say, dark skinned women are aggressive?
I said that's my experience.
That's his
I'm
experience.
asking.
That's my anecdotal
That was a
experience.
question.
And they usually make a lot of comments about skin color. Like I said, I'm not a light skinned brother. I'm pretty dark. And they were on me all the time about my skin color.
Maurice, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Did Becky break your heart?
Who?
Becky.
With the good hair.
I never had a Becky.
Hold up. Hold up. Didn't you say you date? Hold up.
I had a
Didn't
crush.
you,
It was like, well, second grade.
oh, you never dated
I
one
think
that
you,
you
Becky.
I think he's taking it literally, like a Becky, like
Yeah. No,
a
listen.
white girl
Have
called
you ever
Becky.
dated a white girl ever in your life?
You talking to me?
Yes, sir.
He said second grade.
I understood Becky. I've never dated a Becky, never dated a
Okay.
white girl. Never did.
Okay, cool.
What you
Yeah,
were saying about the second grade then? Hold on. You said second grade.
No. So you coming in late, now you're asking me to retract this whole story. It was
He
was
said
my
he had a
first
crush on a
crush.
girl in second grade that was a
He
white
had a
girl.
crush.
That's who
He
broke
didn't
his
get a.
heart. That's who broke his heart right there. There you go. There you
Damn.
go, brother. That's who, Trey. That's who broke his heart.
Okay. So explain why I tend to date light skinned women then versus my attraction towards dark skinned women.
I mean, you explained it
Because you
yourself.
couldn't get
Yeah.
No, I'm
Becky.
talking
You
to Neo
couldn't.
because Neo got all the answers.
Oh
So
no, you
Oh,
explained it yourself. You said you couldn't get Becky, so you got the closest thing to Becky, which was light skinned women, because dark skinned women was mean, and Becky's was just didn't even see you.
so explain my preference for dark
that
skinned
might
women.
be something.
Go ahead. No, you gotta take the whole picture in. You can't just leave out the convenient stuff.
Your preference for dark skinned women is non-existent because
Oh, I'm just crazy now. Cool.
you said you went with the conditions that was put before you, which was light skinned women. You took the lesser evil. That's what you said.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
that's the golden rule that all men follow, though, man. We gotta like who like us.
Yes.
Hey,
And I'll
that's
say
what
this.
he said. He trying to deny it. He can't even stand on that.
Yeah. Maurice, I will
Well,
agree
I
with
was
Maurice. I think you agree with me with this. And now, when you say light skin and dark skin, when it comes to women, I will give the nod to the browner skinned sister as being having the finest bodies. That's just me, though. Hey,
Oh no.
Oh
that's
man,
all I'm
don't be
saying.
starting no war between us and them light skinned folks.
I'm just saying. The finest, the best
I
in
feel
show.
attacked.
Listen, no.
I feel attacked for you.
I feel attacked.
See now, listen. See how they feel attacked. So who's the finest of the sisters? Who got the best body? Because the mind, it don't matter they light skin, dark skin. Because sometimes can get a little woozy.
It just
You get caught
depends
up.
on who was lucky enough to be blessed, because
Yeah, I don't see the correlation.
they got some fine bodied up yellow bones. They got some fine bodied up blacker than the skillet. So it just depends on
Yeah,
who blessed and who not.
I
So,
want to go to Neo because I know he got a story.
so why compete against any of
Once
them?
he starts
Oh
getting those
Lord God.
you know how he is.
Oh, I don't like.
Hold on,
I ain't with this shit. Trey.
I can't let y'all talk about Jess. So I got this video I found of Jess when she was in the
Do not
club. So
start. Oh, I knew
This
you was gonna do that. That's right. Bump, 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 bump. That's right.
Look at it.
Level up. Level up.
Look. She
Level up.
might be a
Level up.
pencil, but she
Level
got
up.
buns. The baby
That's
got
right.
like baby
Hey.
got mad back right there. Okay.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Tim.
As a BBL.
But I would like to ask Mr. One Love, do you have any experience where a dark skinned woman being more aggressive than the lighter skinned woman?
Yeah, yeah. I can't think of any specific ones. Well, I can, but I'm not about to do that. But yeah, I can think of those experiences quite easily.
Alrighty,
I,
alrighty.
But
I
but
don't,
so
I don't
go
know
ahead.
if it comes from um like directly related to the color. Like dark
Mm-hmm.
skinned women are aggressive, but dark skinned women may have went through more shit that turned them aggressive. So it could have been a product of colorism. You know what I'm saying? Like a result of it.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Maybe it's just a result of being, I don't know, picked on, teased. Most
This is
people would think that I'm pretty aggressive, even though I know when to shut the fuck up and when to talk. But you know, a lot of that was built through my character from growing up, from being teased or
Right.
being bullied or for whatever reason. It doesn't even matter if it's colorism, just life in itself. And
like this
sometimes
is
we tend to adapt to a defense mechanism. It's not necessarily, intentional. It's just
Yeah.
something that human beings adapt.
I think it's a defense mechanism.
this
That's
this
exactly
is
what
to-
I think.
this is totally off topic, but I'm just thrown off. He's sitting in the passenger seat driving on the other side of the on the other side of the road. It just it's killing me. Like wait,
I was looking at that too, and I was like,
One of them is a
oh
Londoner.
yeah, that's right. He in
look,
UK. They on the
yeah,
The
I'm
opposite
man
like,
side
them
of
is
the.
a Londoner. Let
yeah.
him be.
He said our American
I
UK
didn't even
Yeah.
accent sucks
It
booty
just threw
crack.
me off. I'm like,
Feel
hold
like
on,
he's
I
about
didn't
to
even
wreck.
think of that. Oh shit.
he driving like the mailman over here. You know what I'm saying? That's the mailman sit on that side over here. But yeah, but you driving on the road. It's just crazy to see it. Like the car, this driver's seat on that side, and you drive on the other side of the road. Like, hold on, this just look wild
And
to
that's
me.
a Tesla. You married?
Like,
Mm-hmm.
Look, imagine us going over there driving one of their cars. We've been in
man,
had
that'd be the
all types
crap.
of accidents.
I'm gonna have like
Yeah,
13
I
wrecks.
wreck.
Yeah, I'm a wreck all day long.
Now
But
you're
no,
I
but as
like your
far like,
car.
Oh my
but
god.
let me throw another video clip on here. Speaking
Hey,
conversation mode.
This woman is saying that when us bitches talk about colorism, we also need to talk about how a lot of dark skinned girls are hateful towards light skinned women for no reason.
Yep.
So, black women, let's talk about it.
What's up with this
Side
echo?
note, do y'all notice that subtle change in language between dark skinned girls and light skinned women? I'm
Can we get a
telling you,
pause?
people expose their biases unintentionally. It's wild.
It
What
was
is up with
echoing,
that
by the way.
echo? Like the whole thing. What is up with that echo? Can you mute and then see if it still play?
Talk about colorism, we also need to talk about how a lot of dark skinned girls are hateful towards
Still
light
echoing.
skinned women for no reason.
Press play. I want to see if it's your feedback.
Maurice, mute up.
Oh shoot, my bad.
This woman is saying that when us bitches talk about colorism, we also need to talk about how a lot of dark skinned girls are hateful towards light skinned women for no reason. So, black women, let's talk about
That's
it.
perfect right there.
Side note, do y'all notice that subtle change in language between dark skinned girls and light skinned women? I'm telling you, people expose their biases unintentionally. It's wild. Now, moving on. Now, I acknowledge that some light-skinned women experience bullying for their complexions. And I have no problem with you guys creating spaces to discuss that. But those discussions should not be weaponized against dark-skinned women when we're talking about being oppressed by colorism. Colorism that is not just social, but systemic as well. And let's be clear, the taunting you guys receive from some dark-skinned women is not colorism. Oftentimes, it's resentment towards the fact that light-skinned women are placed on a pedestal while dark-skinned women are crushed underneath it. 9 times out of 10, that little chocolate girl in 4th grade was not pulling your hair or calling you white girl because she felt that light skin was inferior. She was projecting the hurt of being taught that her skin was inferior. And that is not a justification, I promise. All of this shit is tragic because colorism is just a byproduct of white supremacy anyway. And it has served to divide a community that is already fractured.
Ooh.
Hey, I said she said some real shit on that live.
No, she said a bunch of bullshit. What she did. That was a bunch of nonsense. That's what that was.
You think it's a bunch of bullshit?
That was ignorance. That's what I heard.
Let me say this, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. The most bullying I got growing up was from dark-skinned girls.
Say it louder.
It was from dark-skinned girls, and it was, and I was the cool girl. Like, look, you want to go to the store and get some now laters? You want some sunflower seeds? Like, I'm trying to be cool with you, but because her little boyfriend or her little crush said good morning to me, oh, you think you all that? Because I had the better hair. I'm not gonna say good hair because I don't think I have good hair. I have maybe a better grade, a different grade of hair, but it's not better. Oh, you think you all that? Because you when they used to fight me, I got in so many fights growing up, and it was never with a light-skinned chick. I promise you. I promise you. It was always with a dark-skinned woman or a dark-skinned girl because she was mad that her boyfriend said good morning to me. Or because I thought I was all that. So you know what? On this one, I gotta be truthful. I never got bullied by the Puerto Ricans, the Mexicans, the Asians, the light-skinned ones, the half-breed ones. Nope. It was always my dark sisters that bullied me growing up. To this day.
You're saying what she said in the video, though, Jess. She's saying
My best friend is Puerto Rican. You know why? Because I don't fit in with white folks. I don't fit in with my black sisters. So I kind of look Puerto Rican. I just need to throw in like puta and chancleta and a couple of Spanish words, and I fit in.
That's what she said in that video.
Goonie goo goo.
Goonie goo goo.
That ain't what she said in that damn video.
Now, what she said in that video was literally what just described.
No, it's not.
Can I get it out? Can I get it out? May I please? That she said in the video that the reason why a lot of those little dark girls picked on the light girls is not because they consciously believed and understood what was going on in that child's mind. They thought, oh, she thinks she's better than me because she's white. But what it actually was it was resentment from being told that they were ugly their whole lives solely because they were dark, and the light-skinned girls were put on the pedestal. That's why they was fighting and picking on that. Like what Jess just said, the girl wanted to fight because her boyfriend looked at her instead of, and in that dark girl's mind, it was because she was light-skinned in her mind. You know what I'm saying? That it's just what it was in her mind. It could not even be nothing. It was a resentment that they developed from being told their whole life that you're ugly because you are dark. Period. End of sentence. And light-skinned girls could be I've seen a whole bunch of ugly face light-skinned girls that dudes would be like, oh man, she fine. You light-skinned this shit. Like, no. Light skin is not a prerequisite to automatically make you fine. So
I
think what I was balking to was the fact that she's excusing.
We're gonna let you go, Neo.
Yeah, I'll finish up. The fact that she was excusing the behavior that child had.
She didn't excuse it. She said.
I don't think that was an excuse.
She said in the video, by no means is this justifying it. She said that. She explicitly said that.
I mean, that's the whole I'm gonna say this, pay it justice, and then move on, because that's not what we need to worry about.
No, it's a cause and an effect. You don't have to like the effect, but that's the cause and effect.
That's exactly what I want to get away from. It's not a cause and effect.
The
cause was, whatever, this black little black girl was teased, or probably from her parents. Honestly, it's probably where it came from. Some family members that are talking to her a certain way, and then that resentment's built within her. Which I get it; it's not her fault, but she doesn't have to react that way. Because, like I said, I I was bullied. I was spoken by my parents and my family about my color, but I didn't hold. I may have built some resentment, but it didn't come out in bullying other people, right?
How are
Like,
we going to tell people how to react?
no, it's justifying the reaction. That's all I'm talking about. I'm
I
talking
don't
about
think no
justifying the
one
reaction.
justified the action. It was a cause and an effect. You saying it didn't have to cause that. And I'm saying, who are we to say how someone else should react off of their trauma? Just because your anecdotal or many, let's generalize this thing,
Yeah.
many and reactions may not been that way. It's not for us to tell people how to react to trauma. Now,
So
can I ain't say shit all day about this colorism thing as a chocolate woman that definitely was bullied by both, because I'm in Philly. We're a melting pot of everything in one little fucking hood. So I've been bullied by dark skinned women, light skinned women, Puerto Rican women, never a white woman, even though I welcome that. Please try. Um, I never got bullied by a white woman, ever. A white man, ever. And I definitely went to school with them. I tried to bully one until I see her whoop somebody else's ass, and I was like, "Oh shit, white people can fight." I was like, "Oh shit, let me befriend her." We became great friends because I don't believe in getting my ass whooped. Just don't do that. Um, but I will say this: as a black woman, that a dark skinned black woman that was bullied by black dark skinned other black women, I never, and I'm not telling you guys how to react off of your trauma, but I could say I never, ever thought that a dark skinned woman would be more combative than a light skinned woman, because I seen them both do the same shit. Just one did it with a fucking smile, which was more offensive.
See, and that's what I'm saying. This is why I wanted this. This is why I wanted to have this conversation and have the conversation be centered around our individual experiences. Because I dated dark skinned girls and light skinned girls, Puerto Rican girls, light skin, dark skin, right? So I've dated the whole everything. I ain't never went all the way to you know the 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 pink the peach crayon. I never got that far, but I have experienced being called black and ugly by dark skinned girls and light skinned girls. So I've dated light skinned girls that were bitchy. I've dated dark skinned girls that were bitchy. I've dated dark skinned girls that were sweet as pie. I've dated light skinned girls that were sweet as pie. So my experience is that though these particular character traits are absolutely not tied to complexion. It's just everyone is an individual. But when we get to a place to where we start to like the girl in the video say, put certain traits on the pedestal, like Kodak said, the light skinned girls, they more soft, the dark skinned girls more ratchet. That's when it becomes problematic. And the only way we get those perceptions is either from experience or just listening to other people talk about their experiences.
Well, and
And
and just to add to that, I know that you and I are in a lot of the same groups together and stuff like that. Like I, for one, it irritates my soul when I see those stupid posts, like when they post a Latina or a light skinned girl and be like, yeah, then because I went and got my passport, or because y'all can't touch this, y'all black women can't never touch this, and I'm like, on behalf of the light skinned folks, we don't, I don't co-sign this shit. Love who you love, be with who you want to be with, but never use it as a justification because of somebody's behavior due to race. Like I don't rock with that shit at all.
I want to add to that because I always thought that was ultimately offensive to your offspring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
No, I don't.
ultimately
and a
offensive because,
lot of
like
that
you
though.
said, like she said, like Jesse said, at one particular time, I ain't fit in with white people because I was too black. I ain't fit in with the black people because I was too white. Now, all these guys, whether it's a guy and girl, because women do it too. I seen women, especially in my ladies' post, where they was coming at men's necks, fuck his juggler. Like they was coming at these at black men. And I have to remind people in this gender war shit, you do understand black is one race. It is not genderfied. It's not. It has no gender fucking limitations. It's one race. So when I made my post, I'm not gonna say what it was because we on YouTube. When I made my post, I had a bunch of white men come in and be like, "Well, listen, blah 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 blah." Me if sound racist, but hey, my post was basically pro black, super pro black, like threw a white man under the damn bus. So I automatically thought he was going to defend himself. When my whole point of saying this, guys, I made this post knowing that white people will say some racist shit to defend themselves at the fucking least to defend themselves. So I am not going to tell this white man he has no right to defend himself or react off of some shit that I said that made him feel that way. He can feel whatever way he want to feel. I'm gonna say what the hell I said, and I'm gonna mean what I said and stand 10 fingers up on that. So
I'm
can
gonna
he.
call Cap.
Everyone have a right to to how they respond. But I will agree with Maurice. What how you respond do speak volumes to your trauma. I think
I'm gonna
everybody's
call
been saying
Cap.
that all day.
I'm gonna call Cap because this black ass nigga took my turn, and all y'all black ass motherfuckers just act like y'all forgot about it,
I
and
was about to remind
y'all
you,
was
man.
y'all was
We thought you was
supporting that
asleep.
shit. No, they was in unison. They had a conspiracy going on.
I was about
Oh,
to remind you,
sorry.
bro. I
I'm
promise.
sorry.
I
I'm
promise.
sorry, Neo. You are
Yo,
supposed to go next.
Morphe was on a roll, man. I didn't want to stop her. So I
Yeah,
was
I bet. I see what it is. I see the goddamn split. I see the divide. But I'm
We
gonna say this.
sorry.
I'm
I'm in the
sorry.
middle. I'm in the middle, right? So I didn't really face a lot of it. I was able to date all the shades, and I might have not been their first pick because light skinned women want dark skinned men, and I'm not dark skinned. But then dark skinned women want light skinned men, and I'm not really light skinned. So I was in the middle. I wasn't their first pick normally, but I was all of them go to. I was the go to guy from white, black, light skin, dark skin, Chinese, Mexican, ching chong, everything. I bet to goddamn Goonie Goon Goon motherfucker. Like, yeah.
what?
Y'all better stop calling them goody goo goos. They not. In
We
Philly,
waited all that time for that.
we call them gualas because of Guala Guala Island and shit. It was like one of the first little uh introductions to the kids about Spanish before Dora the Explorer came, and we call them gualas in Philly.
I forgot what I
Y'all
was
had
All the
about to say,
Hispanic.
y'all had
Becky.
Guala Guala Island. We had Gullah Gullah, so I don't know.
It is Gullah Gullah, but we Philly, we fuck everything up.
And Gullah
It's
Gullah is
Gullah
not
Gullah.
even Gullah Gullah, not even Spanish. That's like
No, they had
Caribbean.
Spanish shit in there. Yes, it did. Yes,
Morphine,
it did.
can I
I
say
was gonna
something
ask.
to you,
Oh,
Morphine?
go ahead.
I remember Gullah Gullah Island, bro.
Morphine, can I say something to you?
Yes.
Hey, you know, it's really been a pleasure just seeing how you've grown in this time that I've met you.
Mm.
You know, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Your true strength is starting to really shine out there right now. So, you know, I appreciate that, man. You look at all your natural beauty is starting to come out.
Damn, what the hell this dude
You ain't got
just
no
Thank you,
nails
Tim.
no more. You ain't got all the
Is this the
extras.
pop
Your
the
skin is
balloon
starting to shine.
version?
I
Tim,
don't
play
know,
some
but
slow music,
chocolate is
Tim. Play some slow
blushing.
music.
Okay.
She's
Hey,
turning into mush, bro.
no,
She
but you're
melted all
really
that chocolate.
growing. You know what I'm saying? And your message and your voice is opening up. So young ladies need to hear that on a good, you know, positive level. So yeah, I appreciate that.
I don't want to take away from Miss Fields and what Maurice was saying about how they feel, how they're not feeling, because feelings override their actual experience. I don't want to downplay their experience. It's something that they said that I do think and I do agree with, and it is that dark skinned women have a very much harder life than the light skinned woman, and it is very projective. Like we do very much so project that on what we see in the mirror and what we see that identifies us as chocolate men and chocolate other I'm sorry, as chocolate people. Now I will say I also experienced a bunch of chocolate women picking on a more lighter skinned woman and dark skinned men. Um, was I one of them? I ain't pick on Shorty, but she just had this I could say whatever I want with no repercussions attitude. And I didn't quite like that. Now, maybe because as a dark skinned woman, I can't walk around and say what the fuck I want to say and shit. So I just felt like, okay, you could do that with other people, but soon as you part them lips to say that to me, I'm going to take all opportunity to show you how dark skinned women act in these streets. Now, was it the best reaction? Probably not. Probably not. Probably not. You know, I did get suspended and expelled for that shit. But
Expelled?
did I regret it? No, I don't. I don't regret it.
You said
Yeah, I got
expelled.
expelled. I got
Well,
expelled for that fight.
Did you put your hands on her?
Oh yeah, man, slept her all
Oh,
across that room. Poor
well,
thing.
if you don't mind me saying something, and this might sound a little corny, but please know that it is so genuine. It really is. I felt this way for decades, having gone through the I won't say hatred, just the bullshit. Let's just call it bullshit. Because I don't think it was so much hatred. I feel that a lot of us as sisters, we come in all different shades. I'm light, bright, and damn near white. We got chocolatey chop, we got Hershey bar, we got dark chocolate, we got all these different complexions. But at the end of the day, we're all sisters and we're all black. And I have to say, it is society's fault that we had this divide, because so many times entertainment and rappers and movies, they put the lighter skinned women on the pedestal while diminishing the darker skinned women. And I can honestly say, I can so honestly say, like, for example, people think I'm crazy. Michonne from Walking Dead. I
she's
know
gorgeous.
I know y'all done seen
She's
Michonne.
so beautiful to
She
She's
me.
is
gorgeous.
so freaking beautiful. Like, when I see her, I'm like, damn, she's beautiful.
Except for
Like,
when she does that ugly cry though, she could keep
but
that.
now the ugly. Well, we all got to
Hold
look.
on, wait. What you
Look,
say,
you don't want
Maurice?
to
Well, she got the
look.
what?
You don't want to see my ugly cry. I look like
Oh,
Kerry Washington. Like,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
she
you don't
do
want
got
to
the
see that.
ugliest cry. Like the
Yeah.
ugliest cry. Like
But my
they shouldn't
point
put that
is
on
that,
TV.
I really feel that we as sisters, we didn't do this to one another. We just ran with the narrative. We saw
Yeah,
the
some
covers of the
feedback.
magazines, and we saw and then this boy, maybe he didn't want to talk to you, but he wanted to talk to the light skinned girl, or vice versa. And I think that, like somebody said earlier, I'm not sure, I don't remember who, but we were programmed to initially just kind of like not like one another, when at the end of the day, we are sisters.
We
That
are
was
the
our
only
British
group.
brother.
But
Our
hold
British
on,
brother
because
said that.
what Jess is saying is, think about it. We're the only ones that are so what's the word I want to use? We are so enamored with the concept of complexion that
yeah.
we break ourselves down into categories. They came up with the paper bag thing, but we embraced it. It's a whole rap song. Watch these rap dudes get in your guts. French vanilla, butter pecan, chocolate deluxe, even caramel sundaes is getting touched. Like we embraced the colorism and separation.
What
You
song
don't
is that?
oh,
Can
you
you
never
drop it
heard
in my
that?
DM? Give me more
Cream,
though.
Wu Tang Clan,
Ice
Wu
cream,
Tang.
ice
Yeah.
cream
Oh,
pie.
okay. Go ahead,
Ice
y'all. I'm
cream
sorry.
Wu-Tang, yeah. But you don't see like has anybody that has friends of different races heard them refer to themselves as a spectrum of different colors? Like, oh, I'm not white, I'm dark skinned white. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, I
you know,
have. Yeah,
I, I've
Yellow?
only I've
yeah.
I've only heard Latino people. I live in California. I've heard them say the light skinned Mexican and the dark skinned Mexican. I never heard them say brown skinned Mexican, caramel Mexican. I never heard that.
It's just, to me, it's just an overall. It's an overall European beauty standard. So the light skinned people, because they are closer to European complexion, are going to be put on a pedestal. And I actually hate that. Like I don't like that. Like I said earlier, when I see this stupid post, I'll be like, yeah, nah, we not doing that, bro. Like, nah, you're not about to diss my sister just to say she's beautiful because she's light skinned when this sister is just as beautiful as in her dark skin. Fuck you very much. We're not doing that. You
Yeah,
know,
it happens in the Spanish community too.
but
Mhm.
but again, I think that just society, entertainment, and then let's not forget social media has hyped it because now all we got to do is hit send. Like
If I could
back in
say
the
something,
days, we used to have to go to the
Like
newspaper stand and get a newspaper or the magazine. Now we all we got to do is pick up our phone.
yeah, if I
Right.
could
Yeah.
say
Like check
something,
this out. Like with Telemundo, if you watch Telemundo, you would get a false impression of what Spanish people look like
true.
because it's only light
Absolutely.
skinned people on Telemundo. I dated a Spanish chick, and that's when I realized that she pointed it out too. It was colorism going on right there. The light
Yeah,
skinned people got the roles on TV shows, but the majority of Mexicans was darker than the
dark
people
skin.
on those TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing with the
Exactly.
Asian
So
community.
what
A lot of them don't. The
what can
dark
you
skinned ones
do
don't
to
never
the
get on
eye?
TV.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's
Can
all
I say
about
this?
European standard.
Can I say this? Regardless of what complexion we are, whether we male or female, guess what? Dark skinned black folk kill dark skinned black folk, and light skinned black folk kill, excuse me, delete light skinned black folk. What? uh, Tell me, am I seeing something wrong or something? I mean, think about it. We
No,
colorists,
what?
regardless of what complexion we are, and it's sad for real, especially in this modern time. I think we understand that people who with the good hair that can't really breathe within the hot air and can't stand out in the sun, they have a different way of thinking when it comes to us and a different agenda. I think now that we in a time where we see it, you got to look at your surroundings and say, I want to do better. I want to live better. And then that'll take care of your history and that'll take care of your children's future. But right now, I don't know. Shit. We all poor. Everybody on here got to go get a job tomorrow, work tomorrow. The children got to go to school or they in summer school. Are your children learning how to read better? No. Are boys getting stronger? Or is somebody taking advantage of the children that we're caring for? Because our future's at stake. I just hope we can figure it out, man. Because this is scary.
I wanted to
You
say
so
something right
right.
here to what Ms. Fields was saying in regards to society. But I guess just because what you just said right there, I don't want to dismiss that because it's an important point. I've always like it's one of the things I said in the beginning about colorism. It's such a cop out and a distraction from a lot of other important things that we really should be paying attention to. And this problem would be corrected if other problems were addressed. But to add to what Miss Fields was saying, I remember she was saying something along societies to blame. I usually balk at the idea of people blaming society because society is just built up of people. So if you're gonna blame society, essentially you're building blaming people, and which people are these that you're blaming is usually what the real question is because it's not all the people, it's some of the people, and you got to figure out what those people are doing. And if I had to group it um, to actually address this issue of colorism, I would have to say the primary people is well, the primary people are parents. Like I've seen, like I said, based off of my experiences and some shared experiences I've had with other people, parents are the first ones to start talking about the complexion of their black children, and they just start ingraining this idea of light skin, dark skin, which is better, which is worse. Um, there's also even this like teasing that happens. So this I'm not. Obviously, it depends how severe it is, but at the very least, it plants a seed. And once a seed is there, all it takes is a music video, um, uh, boyfriend and girlfriend situation that's happening at school to confirm that whatever your parents planted, oh, that she was right. or he was right. They was right when they said this about me. These big lips, this big nose, it's a problem. This is so there's that aspect. And I think why it's also a lot more prevalent amongst women, I would have to say, because it seems to be coming from women mostly. And I think hypergamy has a lot to do with it as well. Because you got all these hot, men of status that are constantly in view that are pushing the idea of having light skinned women with them. So that kind of creates this, okay, more confirmation to that parental seed that was planted.
So isn't it more both parties, not just men, not just women, it's both of them. I mean, everything you just said it was both parties. I would like to say that you said something about it's not society, or if you're saying it is society, then it is people. Your parents are the people, are the society.
I mean, that's what I
And
said.
So all
and
of those can interlude with one another.
but
And I
here's
do think it's both, is men and women. You know.
it is both men and women, and I just want to piggyback to what Maurice said because I do actually have biracial children that I can see facing some of the same challenges that I face growing up. Um, you
Would they be
know, it,
considered biracial?
They,
huh?
they, 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 they're like quarter, like three quarter, one, one quarter.
Right, like
They
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 got way
are
But
more
but
black
they
than German, maybe.
they
Like
you
octoroons. They're octoroons.
you can tell they're not all
one more
black,
generation
okay?
and y'all back to black.
I know we working on that. We working on that. But what I'm trying to say is like there have been instances, especially when William went to middle school. Elementary school wasn't that big of a problem. But when William went to middle school and it was a predominantly white school, he was very isolated. Now, when he was at his elementary school, it was a predominantly black school. So they were more accepting of him in the elementary school. But when he went to this white school, I'll never forget the first day after school, he came home. I'm like, hey, baby, how was your day? Did you have a great day? He says, what in the redneck school did you sign me up for? That's his words out of the babe's mouth. And I said, baby, I didn't sign you up for that. That's how this works. It's districts, blah, blah, blah. But, as time passed, I could see that he was isolated. And I had to have that conversation with him like, baby, your father's black, your mother's half white and half black. So, yes, you're a black boy, but I mean, y'all have seen a picture of my sons. They don't fit the typical black. Matter they look like Trey. They pretty much look like Trey with hair. They real light skin. And so they just don't fit in. And I had to explain that. So yes, it starts with parents, but as parents, we also have to be honest with our children so that when they are confronted or faced with certain things, that they can handle them and know how to move forward or not.
And as a person that has raised a teenage boy already, my oldest son is 26. I can tell you right now that, well, like what she's saying, that middle school, as much as we teach our kids to not worry about what other people think and all of that, just be your own individual. When they get into middle school, high school, they are concerned about what everybody think and all of their how their friend groups are going to perceive them. Because the most important thing in their lives at that time is that social unit that they call school. That becomes their world. So the world as they know it is within the halls of those classrooms, and it's so powerful now though, because when we was kids, it was just a classroom. They got these things now. So if you got, when we was coming up, if you got picked on, it only stayed at the school. Like, oh, you heard about such and such. But now if you get picked on, it could go viral. And the whole school district knowing you can't even transfer schools no more if you get into a fight and get beat up or something. You got to get transferred because they're gonna send you to a school. Like, that's the kid right there. You see, he go to video is, and that's why they be offing themselves because of that type of stuff. I got to mute because the kids is being loud.
Shut them kids up.
Yeah,
Don't you see what
all I was just saying is that I think it's
Please
important.
don't say
Yeah,
what was
we
in
don't
here.
want to talk to our children about race and things like that because we don't want to make it seem like it's something. Matter of fact, I'll give you a short example. His teacher called and he was like, no, I'm sorry, she was like, William, he's a great kid, blah, 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 blah. And I've noticed that he's been a little standoffish. He hasn't been himself. She was actually calling to see like did somebody die? Did his dog die? Did his grandma die? Like he's really been not himself. And I said, no, nothing that I know of. Anyways, thank you for calling. I'll talk to him when he gets home. So when I talked to him when he got home, I asked him what was going on, and he said, well, Ma, I don't have no friends. And so I was like, okay, well, moms. I'm like, that's okay. You don't need friends. Quality over quantity. I did all that crap. And quality over quantity, just you there to do your work. And then, but it dawned on me to ask him, I said, well, how many of your friends in your classroom look like you? And he said, maybe three. And I said, and I put it together. I was like, oh, I see what it is now. And I had to have that conversation. I don't think that it would have been fair for me not to have that conversation with him.
But just a little bit pushback. Like, what if, right? Just a scenario. Like, we was to take up any kid and we dropped them off in a different country and we had to raise them in that other country. Like, they'd have to figure out who these kids are, what they like, what their culture is, and you know, delve into the ability to be resilient and figure out how to make this thing work.
But then they end up with blonde hair playing guitars and shit.
Hell yeah, guitar. What's wrong with guitar, bro?
Oh, not a damn thing.
Basically, you saying they should integrate themselves with another culture that's not them to fit the fuck in instead
I,
of.
I think integrate. No, integrate's a strong word. I think it's understanding the different culture that you're in. You're in a different
Well,
culture.
how come they not trying to
No, it's
understand
not even.
yours?
It's not
Like
even
it's not like he
a
trying to be more. Go
integrate
ahead.
wasn't even the word that you want. You was looking for assimilate, not integrate.
Yeah, assimilate. Yeah, there you go.
No,
Thank you.
neither. You. It's
Thank
like
you, baby.
if you go to China, you were still gonna like what was that phrase? When in Rome, do as the Romans.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain aspect of figuring out how this place runs because it's not what you usually do. So you got to figure out how it runs and see what you can do
And it
to
might be some good parts of that. You might find some. You might like raisins in potato salad. Just saying.
Well, with that, listen,
You
all I'm
never
saying
know.
is that
Sacrilege.
I wouldn't say that unless it was met halfway. If someone was trying to meet me halfway with my culture, I will always meet you halfway with yours. But if you go to Japan right now as a black woman, first thing they're going to think is that you pop it open for a real one.
But
Same
see,
thing with
that's not
Africa.
even color.
Wait. Pause. Let me finish.
That's not
Same thing with
colorism.
Africa. Huh?
That's not colorism. That's racism.
Is
Oh
it?
shit.
Japanese are known for their racism. Like they're not even shy about it. They're highly racist.
All right. So just like if you went in Africa, right? A lot of us American women wear the waist beads, and we wear them as decorate as accessory, where they're supposed to be hidden under your clothes. Now, if you wear them outside your clothes, then to them you're HOE. You out there telling them that you ready for the get down. You down, you DTF. So that's to me. I think in that situation, you might want to look at how everybody else is wearing this shit because clearly they're not wearing it how we wear it, and it might mean something.
Right,
Versus us
because
being in America and I'm in a white school, and ain't like they ain't never seen no black person before. You know what black is.
And just we can say the same thing.
but the point that but
You know
that
what
goes
white
back to the
is?
point that the brother Stricto made earlier is that their perception of you may be limited to what they've seen on television. So if you go to one of these white bread towns where you show up and you like the only black family in town, and their only uh perception of you is Boys in the Hood and what's the other one with Ghosts and all of that Power.
Power and shit.
Yes, then they're gonna think, okay, then or Empire, they're like, oh, she act like Cookie,
Well, the
they're gonna
neighbors over here selling dope. That's what they gonna think.
that's what they're gonna expect. That like if they didn't have the Cosbys and the Winslows and all of the positive imagery, you know what I mean? So they can only have a perception of you based on what it is they've perceived.
I think that goes both ways. I think that maybe Baby Boy only knew what he perceived as for white people. I'm gonna just to say, meet me halfway culturally. I teach you how to grill. You teach me how to play hockey. Win
And see,
win.
this ties into colorism too, because a lot of people romanticize these other cultures they have no idea about because they feel like if they intermix with these people that their offspring are going to somehow be better, you know.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. If you all right. So here's the thing, right? Black people move out the hood because we want to be safer. We want to be in a better community. We want our kids to go to have a better education, and then we move out the hood and we move into their neighborhoods and we get treated like we never left the hood. Like you got that hurry up and buy look when you go to their neighborhood stores, which is now yours. Your neighborhood store, you get that hurry up and buy look. When your son walk down the street in his active wear and he not wearing that preppy shit, they're gonna think he's a thug, all because they don't understand black culture. When you have a cookout, they think that it's a bunch of thugs on the lawn, but they don't understand that black people spread.
But doesn't
They
that
don't.
go back to what Tim and the other guy from the UK? I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. What they said,
Strico,
if Strico,
Strico,
if they
Strico.
only see what we put out on World Star Hip Hop and Boys in the Hood and Medea and things like that, that's what their percent. Is it right? Hell no, it's not right. And you got some white folks and Asian folks that they never think that of you. You know, they'll be like, well, I like this person for who they are, and I don't depict them based off of what I've seen. But let's be real, a lot of people will just. It's no different than shut up. I'm on the phone. Yes. It's no different than when, we see a shooting. Let's say we see a mass shooting on the news, right? What's the first thing we do?
It ain't
That
us.
that, that ain't us. That ain't nothing but them white folks right there. We ain't do that.
Yeah, we
So
hear a school shooting, we automatically
YP
know that ain't us.
is
you we know that's
YPS.
not us. You ain't even gotta
YPS.
ask.
That's us stereotyping them.
YPS.
Right. We don't need to see a mug shot or nothing. You
We
ain't even
just
gotta put a name in there. We know
we
it's
just
white folks.
a
So
church
kind of the
shooting,
same
we
thing.
know it's not us.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, and this is something that I've always said, and I hate it, which is why I don't watch shit. I do not watch TV. Believe it or not, I do not watch TV. I will not watch shit like Housewives of Atlanta, Snowfall, anything that depicts us in a negative light. I do not put on my TV. I do not allow it to be played in my house. Period.
I
Because
do. I
I
do. You
don't.
know why? I watch Housewives of Atlanta. I watch Housewives of Beverly Hills. I watch Housewives of fucking Dubai. I need I need to look at what their shows are like and what our shows are like, and then come back to the people that don't like it or say we are viewed in a negative way. They view them in a negative the same way. Same thing with Latinos. Soon as if you see a cartel movie, if you see it, like everybody has their stereotype, but all I'm saying is that black and brown people, we have a special fucking stereotype, and I'm not gonna lie, there's a white stereotype as well. I mean, nobody's innocent. We all do it. We all do it. No one's innocent.
No. Well, your purposes are different. I just genuinely don't. I don't watch it. I refuse. I refuse to let my children watch it. Um, that's just something I can't rock with.
I mean,
So I
but
respect to you for watching it for the reasons that you do, But again, I can't. Matter of
And
fact,
those shows,
like Billy was watching Snowfall one day. He was like, you should watch this. And I watched one episode and I was like, yeah, nah. I said, you had both your parents and lived in a bougie neighborhood. I don't even know why you watching it. I know more of this life than you do. Turn that shit off.
yeah, and
you
I think
know.
that plays into our view amongst the world because y'all spoke about it. They take the worst of our TV shows that represent us in the most negative way because most of us on YouTube would say that we're sophisticated people, so we don't act like those people, right? But those shows are the ones that they show in all of these countries that we want to go visit. So when you get there, they already looking
Mm-hmm.
at you like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it don't matter if you light skin or dark skin. In America, they'll say, I'll give you a little bag if you go act as dumb as your ass can. Disrespect your grandmama, your mama, your daddy. Matter of fact, you ain't got to talk to your daddy, and we'll let people exploit that. So I think it's all, right now it comes down to the individual person. You have to want better
Mm-hmm.
for yourself. Look at these examples that say, that's not the fucking life I would live. That will bankrupt your children's children. Maybe I'm wrong, but I guarantee that's nothing righteous about that whole trying to fit into that life. And
Yeah. I
so
don't
And
it
I'm
goes
agree
and
with
with
again,
you.
I'm
that.
not trying to say, oh my God, you're the worst person because you watch the shit. No, we
No,
I
entertainment.
didn't feel that way. I didn't look. I watch
Yeah,
Power. I do not watch the reality shows as much as I used to when I was younger because they're corny to me. But I only
yeah,
watch them things for research purposes to see if they as wretched as we are, which they
yeah.
are.
All
So
right, so
once I figured that out, it was on to the next.
and,
Man, I
and
watch Italian mob movies. I like crime.
and after 40
You
years
should
old,
respect.
you should want nobody in your family to be ratchet. No kids, no grandkids, no nothing. Because a lot of us, yeah, I'm sorry. Man. It's fuck-
so this conversation we're gonna have to revisit this.
American culture. Is being black defined as being ghetto or ratchet?
You gotta put yourself on mute, Tim.
When
Yeah,
black
me.
culture is appropriated, why does it then become appropriate? Why are negative stereotypes defended by blacks as a standard of black culture? At what point in our history did the black community deem self-respect and classlessness as the standard of our culture? Why
Timothy,
was
is you
there a
gotta
shift
go
in
on mute
positive
for
media
there's
that
not the
traded the
echo.
black nuclear
He's on
family
mute.
for the images of dysfunctional behaviors? Ghetto and ratchet behavior seem to become the norm for the black community. Should there be more focus on financial literacy and pulling the community out of a level of poverty that's disproportionate to other groups? On the next episode of More Conversations with the Average Black Man, we will try to answer these questions. What is Black American culture? Is being black defined as being ghetto or ratchet?
See, that was a throwback. That was a throwback.
I remember that.
Shout out to the crack era, the most
Shout
devastating.
out to the crack era, right? I lived through that too. So
Yeah, that was
we
just
didn't
horrible.
dropped off the topic, so that lets me know that this conversation is on the topic has come to a conclusion. We can, if y'all want to keep chopping it up, y'all we can stay here and chop it up. But I think we need to go ahead and end this live then because we don't want to just be rambling all on for the next 4 hours. You dig?
That part. And I want to let the viewers know that we are going on a summer vacation. Kids is out of school. People need to spend time with their children. We are parents first.
No doubt.
So I think all of my panelists, except for maybe one or two, we need a break. We'll be back the first week of August. Okay.
Maybe not. It depends on what day that is. My anniversary is be married 15 years, August 8th.
Congrats,
Good
congrats.
job.
We
Yeah,
already
thank
did
you.
that, sir. And oh shit.
Oh,
Hold on,
did
wait.
yeah, see.
Yes, we already did that, sir. And August 8th is on a Thursday. We will be airing on a Monday. That's the 5th.
Right, but I work on Thursday, so I got to see if I'm gonna be in town for that weekend. Which weekend we taking?
Oh, whether you taking the second or the third weekend or the 9th and 10th.
Yeah, we got to go
Hey,
eat some chicken and some steaks and
Yeah.
stuff.
hey
Yeah, I
Trey.
forgot.
After they hang up, can you hang tight for a sec?
Yeah,
Cool
you.
bean.
Yeah, you.
He know who I'm
Everybody
talking
that wants
to.
to stay
The
in
two
the back,
lightest,
please
the
stay
two
back.
lightest ones here. He
Yeah.
know who I'm
I
talking
didn't
Any,
hear. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
okay, anybody that wants to stay right where you are, we can continue the conversation. We're just getting ready to close the live out.
Hey, shit.
Okay, thank you guys for showing up. Thank the viewers for rocking with us for 2 seasons straight. And I don't mean our seasons is not 8 episodes long. They are 13, 12 episodes long, bro. That is 2 years of watching us. Thank you for being consistent every Wednesday when we was on Wednesdays and every Monday when we are on Mondays. Thank you guys. Stay here.